This is the newsroom for Wednesday, August 13, 2025. We're broadcasting to you on E1, SKAR TV, NTN and TARZEE TV in Bartica. President Irfaan Ali announces that all river villages will benefit from farming and wharf facilities by year-end.
I can assure you that your government will deliver this additional investment before the end of the year.
A modern $400 million school opens in Waramuri Region 1. Vice President Dr Bharrat Jagdeo says the authorities need to explore a more deep-seated connection between the US-sanctioned Mohameds and the Venezuelan government. CXC and CAPE results set for release on Friday. Plans are on stream for major upgrades to the Stabroek and Bourda Markets. And in sport, the sport minister foresees enormous expansion of Guyana Cup and CWI working to address systemic issues to halt downfall. With the news, I am Lizzie Yearwood. We're glad you can join us. President Dr Irfaan Ali has pledged that a farming and wharf facility will be built for all river villages by the end of the year. He also revealed that the government is currently in talks with an Indonesian company to help farmers expand crop production and increase earnings. The president made the announcement while addressing residents of Waramuri in Region 1 on Wednesday. Sharda Bacchus joins us with the details from Waramuri.
On Wednesday, President Dr Irfaan Ali pledged that every village along the river will have a new wharf facility before the end of this year. He also said that residents will be asked to submit names of young people with basic qualifications to be trained as nurses and soldiers, guaranteeing them jobs upon conclusion. The president made the announcements while addressing residents of Waramuri in Region 1 on Wednesday.
Waramuri, you raised with us the issue with your dam. Isn't that true? The revetment, the road, and the dam. You raised with us the issue of having a proper wharf and landing facility. But I want to tell you that we have issued an instruction that this year and in the next budget, we will be building farmers' landing and wharf facility at every single one of the community in the river. I've issued an instruction for the revetment and the dam to be designed so that work can commence on this important project for you before the end of the year. We want you to give us the names of all your children with a basic qualification to be nurses. Listen to me. All your children with a basic qualification to be nurses. You give us the names. We will take them. We will train them. We'll house them. We'll give them a stipend. I will guarantee them a job as a nurse or a patient care assistant after. So in the course of September, that program, second intake for this year, will commence. We want all your young children who want to do this. All your young children who want to join the Guyana Defense Force. Once they have, not at the officers level now, those who have a some secondary education and want to become soldiers, give us the names. We will put them in the system.
Access to electricity is also a major challenge for hinterland communities. So to address this, President Ali said that a generator will be provided to residents of Waramuri. Additionally, President Ali announced that the government is in talks with an Indonesian company to help farmers expand their production and increase earnings. And a bus along with boats and engines will be provided to assist in transporting children from communities in the Maruka sub-district to school.
The extension of your electricity hours and your electricity network requires not only investment in the transmission, but to require a new generator from the assessment. I can assure you that your government will deliver this additional investment before the end of the year, with also the extension of hours and the extension of service. And when I met the leaders, they said Para needed a bus. And we've already procured that bus. And long before the end of September, that bus will come to Para to help you move your school children to school. The extension of water, electricity, and the dam, building of dam in Para. Those were issues that local leaders raised with me too. And I assure you that we're going to make the investment in all of these areas, including, as I said, the wharf and waterfront development. These communities, Waramuri, Para is about the bus, Manawarin, and Haimacabra. These three communities, the local leaders said, required ask for boat and engine for the school children. Right, Colin? I've asked the regional chairman to talk to the local boat builders right here in Region 1 to build those boats for these three communities, because we are going to give you those boats and the engine. But not only a boat with a shed, proper boat for the children of your community. Those are decisions already taken. And I hope that in the coming week, they will start the construction of those boats. And I'm told by Chairman that it will take about 8 weeks. 8 weeks to complete those boats.
Waramuri in Region 1, Sharda.
Vice President Dr Bharrat Jagdeo raised concerns on Tuesday night over the frequent visits by presidential hopeful President Mohamed and his family to the Venezuelan embassy in Georgetown. The family, who has been sanctioned by the United States, also applied for visas to enter Venezuela. The vice president, while addressing supporters of the PPP at a public meeting at Mahaica, East Coast Demerara, said the authorities need to explore a more deep-seated link between the Mohameds and the Venezuelan government. It was Foreign Affairs Minister Hugh Todd who revealed that he had cause to summon Venezuela's ambassador to Guyana to explain the embassy visits by the Mohameds.
Hugh Todd, our foreign minister, spoke about the Mohameds going to the Venezuelan embassy frequently. Now you recall about 2 months ago, less than 2 months ago, some US congressmen tweeted and issued statements that Mohamed is linked to Maduro, who is the president of Venezuela, and he puts Guyana's territorial integrity at risk, and they denied it. Well, now there is evidence of him actually going to the Venezuelan embassy, and the Venezuelan ambassador, when summoned by Minister Todd, he said, oh, they'll just apply for a visa. It may be much more than application for a visa. It's a more deep-seated connection. We have to explore that link. They put our country at risk. And therefore, in these elections, we have to be very careful, because people, APNU, AFC, cannot go back to any communities. Nobody believes them and the other parties.
Meanwhile, Attorney General Anil Nandlal also spoke on the same issue concerning the Mohameds. On his program, Issues in the News, the Attorney General said the Mohameds' reported bid to secure visas to travel to Caracas form part of a troubling chain of events that now extends into Guyana's financial and political systems. Nandlal said the visits fit into a pattern of links between the Mohameds and the Nicolas Maduro regime that have been flagged by United States officials.
And then today, you have another link in the chain being established. That the Minister of Foreign Affairs had cause to engage the Venezuelan ambassador because Mr. Azruddin Mohammed is seen making frequent visits to the embassy. And there seemed to be a confirmation that a visa application has been made to travel to Venezuela. This is a guy who doesn't travel to any country, and suddenly he wants to travel to Venezuela. These are the links. In law, there is something called circumstantial evidence. These are links. You connect them. You are the citizens of this country.
A state-of-the-art secondary school was officially declared open on Wednesday in Waramuri Region 1, bringing modern facilities and new opportunities for hundreds of students. The school forms part of the government's plan to ensure every child has access to quality education regardless of their location. Sharda Bacchus joins us with the details from Waramuri.
President Dr. Irfaan Ali on Wednesday commissioned the Waramuri Secondary School in the Maruca Sub-District Region 1. It is the second secondary school to be constructed in Maruca and marks a significant milestone in the country's continued push to expand access to quality education. The $400 million secondary school will accommodate some 250 students. It features modern labs, technology-integrated classrooms, and other facilities aimed at enhancing the learning environment for children in the hinterland region. Speaking at the commissioning ceremony, Minister of Education Priya Manichan underscored the government's commitment to equitable access to education.
So today is a historic day for this village. This school will allow all of your children to become whatever they want to be. This school will allow your children equal opportunity, even as they enjoy your love and food and guidance. But today is the day you should strengthen your resolve that nothing will come between you and the progress you have seen. But we love you. And when we say we love you, you must feel that. You must see your children doing better. You must feel it in your pockets. You must see them being able to dream and do whatever they want to do.
President Ali, who also addressed the gathering, emphasized the transformative role of education in national development.
This building is what lays the foundation. And Priya, I think the primary school is also slated to be fully rehabilitated in your village, your primary school. So this building is not only a secondary school, it's a staging ground for the rest of your life. It is the foundation for the rest of your life. It is that door that opens significant opportunities ahead of you. We're investing so that we can have a more efficient population that can enjoy the full fruits of their labor.
The commissioning of the Waramuri Secondary School marks another significant step towards fulfilling the government's promise to ensure that every child has access to education regardless of their location. For the newsroom, Sharda Bacchus.
When the newsroom returns, CXC and CAPE results set for release on Friday and plans on stream for major upgrades to the Stabroek and Bourda Markets. Welcome back. Education Minister Priya Manikchan on Wednesday announced that results for the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination (CAPE) and Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate (CSEC) will be released on Friday, August 15. Manikchan expressed cautious optimism about Guyana's performance, particularly in mathematics, a subject that posed significant challenges across the region last year.
We are going to be announcing the CXC results on Friday, the 15th of August. That's Friday coming. And my fingers are crossed that we've done better. Guyana, the entire Caribbean did very poorly last year, in mathematics particularly. And CXC is going to implement some new programs starting 2026. But Guyana didn't wait on that. We implemented a new intervention where we gave to all our children scientific calculators, graph books, all the textbooks, past papers organized by topics, geometry sets, all that they needed, including monitoring in the classrooms to make sure the syllabus was finishing and teaching was happening effectively and learning was actually happening. And so we're really looking forward to those results. And we believe we'll see better math results. So on the 15th at 2 o'clock, sign in so you can see the Guyana results, the results for our Guyanese students at this year's CSEC and CAPE exams. And I'm looking forward to that.
Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Sonia Parag, has underscored the vital role markets play in fostering both economic growth and social cohesion in communities. Speaking during a recent episode of the Starting Point podcast, the minister highlighted that the government, through her ministry, have been rehabilitating certain markets and, in some cases, building new ones. Among the major projects in the pipeline are upgrades to Bourda and Stabroek markets in Georgetown.
Both the Stabroek and Bourda Markets in Georgetown are set for major upgrades in the coming years. Already 2 rounds of consultations have been held with vendors about plans for development at the Bourda Market. This was revealed by Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Sonia Parag. She said funds will be allocated in the 2026 budget for the rehabilitation of the facility. The proposal includes a 2-story structure to maximize space and accommodate more vendors.
Where you have less space, you have to creatively use that space to be able to have more persons be included. So the Bourda Green is one of those areas that we're looking at putting up a 2-story. But we know at this point in time you have to have robust consultation because markets are it's very different from just building a housing scheme because again, these are people who are there. You have to displace them. You have to also provide adequate in the meanwhile, so that they will continue to earn.
At the Stabroek Market, the government has already completed the renovation of 30 washrooms. Attention is now turning to the roof, which has long been a problem. A comprehensive redesign for the entire area is being developed in collaboration with the King's Foundation. The King's Foundation will play a key role in restoring green spaces and preserving Guyana's historic buildings.
We are also looking at the roof. It's a big problem with the roof. Yeah. But we're also looking at an entire holistic design for that area. We are working, that is going to be one of the areas that we're looking at with the King's Foundation. So the King's Foundation is going to play an integral role with Guyana and its collaboration with Guyana in ensuring that we have that ecosystem built out in Georgetown that is going to ensure that our historical sites are restored, that our green spaces become a part of the city.
The government's vision for the markets aligns with Guyana's broader sustainable urban development agenda. The market revitalization plans are expected to unfold over the next 5 years. For Newsroom, Isanella Patwo.
Ongoing roads, drainage, and irrigation works are progressing along communities on the east coast of Demerara as the government's infrastructure program continues to expand. These villages include Beirut Bachelor's Adventure, Golden Grove, Nabaklis, and Victoria. Minister of Public Works Juan Edgel visited several communities on Tuesday to address the progress of infrastructure works and address residents' concerns. Here's Shania Ali with the details.
Communities like Beirut, Bachelor's Adventure, Melanie Damashana, Golden Grove, Nabaklis, and Victoria on the east coast Demerara are having their roads upgraded. Some of the communities had mud dams before and experienced flooding during rainy seasons. Beyond road infrastructure, drainage and irrigation works are slated to commence in these communities. Several residents from Melanie-Damashana spoke about the works in the community during a visit by Minister of Public Works, Juan Egil.
Well, I see a few roads have been done in the area and on the way to finish and so.
The government is doing a great job. It's not the perfect government, but it's the best choice that we the people have. It's a very competent government and a very caring government as well.
There's been a great development within the area. I mean, the road being reconstructed and train stock, street lights, and we feel safe in the community. Well, we don't really get much crime, and when the road doing, we that didn't have any job, you know, we come out and we get a day walk or two.
Yeah, I give enough praise and thanks to the road because now I can able to drive my vehicle and everything comfortable without going in no pothole and slow down for splashing water pump people and everything because you know side of flooded community. Now the drainage and everything is be clean and them stuff so the water is able to come off the road fast enough as when the rain fall and then the rest of the stuff.
Meanwhile, Minister Egil appealed to contractors to accelerate some parts of the works to mitigate the inconvenience experienced by residents. He also encouraged residents to join in the cleanup efforts and committed to lending support by providing the necessary tools and equipment. For the newsroom, Shania Ali.
Vice President Dr Bharrat Jagdeo has unveiled plans to transform the east coast of Demerara and surrounding regions with major investments in water, electricity and road infrastructure. Speaking at a public meeting in Mahaika on Tuesday night, Jagdeo outlined several projects set to be rolled out if the PVPC is re-elected at the September 1 general and regional elections.
The East Coast, you would see now, once the 4-lane road is completed, and we're building now a high-power grid. So right now, we're transmitting power from Georgetown all the way to Berbice on these lantern posts next to the road, the railway embankment. Every time a vehicle hits one of those, and we have more vehicles, we're importing 40,000 vehicles per year now. And if one of the vehicles hit there, a whole line of people get blackout all the way to Berbice. So what are we doing? At the back soon here, you would see coming across here from Georgetown, from Eccles, all the way to Berbice, these huge steel towers that will move the transmission mains onto those towers so that we can then secure, we don't have to worry all the time about blackouts. You'd see an improvement of the electricity grid. There'll be another road being cut from the bypass road, the Ogle bypass road coming up the East Coast. So we'd have several lanes going into Georgetown, 4-lane on the railway embankment, another 4-lane, we'd have to upgrade the remaining part to 4-lane on the main road, and then maybe another 2-lane coming down the back so people can move faster.
Still ahead on the newsroom, 2 nursery schools commissioned in Region 2, and the foreign minister says Guyana remains committed to keeping the region a zone of peace. Stay with us.
What's going on here, man? Why do the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man been in we house and thief all we valuables, including we ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GCOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GCOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
Well, how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But for the GCOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. The Guyana government says it remains committed to keeping the region a zone of peace following Venezuela's decision to rejoin the border case at the International Court of Justice, ICJ. Foreign Minister Hugh Todd, during a recent interview, welcomed Venezuela's decision and noted that Guyana is looking forward to a final legal settlement of the controversy.
So we've been working to ensure that we keep this zone, the Americas, a zone of peace. We're committed to that. And we have always participated in all of the regional organizations, in CELAC, the OAS, to ensure that we promote this region as a zone of peace. We know and we are convinced that the case before the court is properly placed, and we have always asked Venezuela to participate. There is no doubt that the 1899 arbitral award is final, perfect, and complete. We have gone through the rigor to ensure that our boundaries were clearly defined, and we can go all the way back to 1905 when we had the mixed commission. The tri-junction point was demarcated, which included Venezuela. So we have Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana, British Guyana at that time. So everything was clearly defined. Venezuela was very happy with the award of the 1899 arbitral award. They were very happy with what they got out of it. They went to their Congress. It was well promoted. So they have enjoyed the award for 62 years before, in 1962, when the spurious claim came about, and they've never been able to show any credible evidence to show that this award was invalid.
To advance universal access to early education, Minister of Education Priya Manikchan on Tuesday commissioned 2 nursery schools in Region 2, Pomeroon, Suriname. The 2 schools at Mashavo and Tapakuma are a $52.6 million investment. Minister of Education Priya Manikchan said that the Tapakuma nursery, valued at $25.3 million, was built to accommodate 17 children. The new structure will serve hundreds of children in the years to come, ensuring they begin their education in a space designed specifically for their developmental needs. Similarly, at Mashabo, the $23.7 million investment supplements the administration's commitment to ensuring that children, regardless of where they live, have access to education. Over the past 3.5 years, the government has constructed 67 new nursery schools across Guyana, adding to the more than 420 already in existence. A batch of 140 persons who successfully completed the Ministry of Health's clinical and technical training program graduated on Wednesday. These individuals were among the first trainees in Guyana to undergo training using the country's telemedicine system. Here are the details. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony told the batch of 140 persons who graduated from the clinical and technical training program that the country's healthcare system is transforming to include digital technologies. With this in mind, he urged them to utilize the free learning opportunities offered by the government. The graduation ceremony was held at the Pegasus Suites Atlantic Conference Center in Georgetown on Wednesday. High Commissioner of Belize to Guyana, Gail Miller-Garnett, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Narayan Singh, Director of Training and Education at the Ministry, Chandrati Persad Bahadur, were also in attendance.
Graduating here today is not the end. It is exciting and all of that, but it's not the end. If you want to do very well, you have to keep studying. In almost every sphere of medicine, there are programs that are there for you. The pharmacy assistants, there are pharmacy courses. The people in physio, there are courses for you. The people at the lab, there are courses there for you. So now, opportunities for learning has become very easy. What you need to do is to have the right attitude. And once you have that attitude, you'll be able to grasp these opportunities.
The clinical and technical training program comprised of individuals from the 10 administrative regions as well as the Belize Defense Force. Persons were trained in the medics program, pharmacy assistance program, medical laboratory technician program, and the rehabilitation program. They were awarded certificates of completion and associate degrees for the various courses. Importantly, the hinterland graduates will provide vital services in their respective homestead areas upon their return. Medics services will be improved at the Mazarine Prison, Region 7, Monkey Mountain, Region 8. In Region 9, for the first time, medics will be stationed at Karasabai and Sand Creek. Kavika Moses, one of the graduates hailing from a community in Region 9, told the newsroom that being away from family during the 4-year program was a challenge.
It was a huge adjustment for me in terms of being away from my family, and yeah, that's basically it. Being far away from your family, a little bit emotional. The first year we did nursing, the second year we did midwifery, and the final years we did medicine.
Lieutenant Ashley Williams from Belize said through this program, the Caribbean's healthcare sector is being targeted.
It's very intense, but yet very educational based and very hands-on. Then it will I will work along with the Force Hospital in Belize.
Williams will return to Belize, where she will utilize her knowledge to deliver services in rehabilitation. Guyana's healthcare sector is being built out to provide services and support throughout the Caribbean and Central America regions. When the newsroom returns, the financial, weather, and bridge reports along with sport news. Welcome back to the newsroom. We start things off tonight with horse racing. Minister of Culture, Youth and Sport, Charles Ramsden Jr., has voiced his confidence in the Guyana Cup's potential to become one of the premier sporting events in the Caribbean. The minister believes the event's current growth trajectory and new horse racing legislation are setting the stage for a significant transformation of sports image throughout the region. Ramsden noted that the recently enacted legislation has created numerous opportunities for stakeholders within the industry. By providing a more structured and regulated framework, the new laws are seen as a catalyst for growth, attracting greater investment and elevating the standard of competition. The 17th edition of the Guyana Cup will take place at the Rising Sun Turf Club in West Berbice this Sunday, August 17.
Now, all of the persons who are involved in horse racing, you get to take your horses overseas. All their books are recognized. They're now legitimate. You're registered with the global industry, and then also other persons, other competitors get to bring their horses to compete in Guyana too. What that does now also sets the stage now for the regulation of the gambling aspect of where and how we want to take the industry. That's also extremely important and the next step for the horse racing industry. We want to make sure that that part of it is maintained, but it's done in a modern way. And so that everyone would be able to participate and that they can trust the process, trust being able to participate and then know that nobody is going to run away with some of the proceeds or that the odds aren't stacked. So I'm extremely pleased to see how the industry has developed over the last, especially maybe two and a half years or so. This particular event, since all of you are here for the launch of this cup, I have expectations of this becoming the second or even the largest single event in the country. I have those expectations. And this event has the potential for transforming horse racing in Guyana and it becoming an international event for the entire region.
Following an emergency two-day meeting with key UI Chief Executive Officer Chris de Herring has announced that the board will formulate a plan to address systematic issues identified in the regional game. A central point of the discussions was the urgent need for a high-performance center and a long-term strategy to mold junior cricketers professionally. The meeting was convened to address the challenges facing West Indies cricket, aiming to restore the team to a competitive force on the international stage. De Herring highlighted the importance of a structured development pathway, stating that the long-term vision includes establishing models similar to a high-performance center in each territory.
Probably amongst the top 5 facilities for the development of our cricketers is, as Miles says, it's systemic. So, but we're talking about things like facilities at every level for the development of our cricketers, proper practice pitches across the region, the quality of our domestic tournament would have been highlighted. There's definitely a skills deficiency at various levels that are, really don't get highlighted until they reach international level, and then you see the glaring deficiencies vis-a-vis our international counterparts, which again is systemic because it's very difficult, as the batting coach pointed out today, it's very difficult to change habits when you're getting somebody who has made so many runs at regional level, but clearly have deficiencies when it comes to the international level. It's very hard to change them in just a couple of weeks, or especially during a series. So it's a systemic issue, so we have to try and address the issues that we're facing much earlier from a technical development perspective. There are issues surrounding strength and conditioning, which again points back to potentially facilities that are available to our youngsters and our emerging players, A teams, etc. So those would be some of the highlights which would have been pointed out. And solutions, as the chairman indicated, would have included things like making sure we have a proper high-performance center established in the region. Hopefully that's just a prototype that will be then modeled and imitated across the region in other countries. Academy systems to make sure that the West Indies way of playing cricket is both documented and taught from very early, so that you're getting people who have been ingrained in the West Indies cricket way long before they reach.
They came from behind to secure a 2-1 ODI series win over Pakistan after 34 years in Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday. Hope played a lead role with an 18th ODI ton, followed by a superb spell of 6 for 18 by Jaden Seals, which floored Pakistan. Enthused by the performances, Hope wants to see consistency in the team's performance as they aim for direct qualification to the 2027 World Cup.
It's a very proud feeling. It's me personally, something that we always speak about in the dressing room is trying to create history. We are very strong. We just need to continue being more consistent, and it's something that we've been doing at home for quite some time now. I think with the last 2 years or so, we've been defending home court really nicely. So, yes, very proud feeling. I'm sure all the guys are very happy with the work that they've been putting in for the last couple of series. So it's great to get a win here, and as we all know, it's about what, 30-something years, you said?
31 years, according to Ian Bishop.
Yes, I think I wasn't born yet. So again, very, very good feeling for the guys from inside. We just need to be more clinical with our players. It's important that we assess the situations better. I think that's something that we did, and we adapted very nicely for the last 2 games, especially in the bowling department. The bowlers stuck to each and every plan that we wanted to execute. And then similar with the batters, we had an idea of how we wanted to go about playing against their spinners, especially in the middle. Yesterday we probably could have been a little bit better. There's always areas to improve, but those are things that we highlighted as a group in the last few meetings. So Progression is there, and we just need to be consistent if we want to continue winning games and winning series.
Former West Indies captain Jason Holder is set to bring a new level of leadership to the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, following his recent move from his home-based franchise, the Barbados Royals. Named the new captain for the 2025 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League CPL season, Holder believes his experience and calming presence will be key to the team's success. Holder expressed his ambition to inject a sense of composure into the Patriots squad, particularly during the high-stakes moments that define T20 cricket. The Patriots, who last claimed the CPL title in 2021, are keen to return to the top of the league table. Holder's arrival and appointment as captain signal a clear intent to rebuild and make a strong start to their 2025 campaign. The 14th season of CPL commences on August 14, with the Patriots facing the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons at Warner Park in the tournament opener from 1900 hours.
One of the things I'm very big on, is team camaraderie. And I think if we can understand each other as individuals, quite early, more often than not under pressure, I guess that's where the true character shows. So if you're able to help your teammates under pressure, then I think more often than not you'll be able to get yourselves over the line. For us, it's just taking it one game at a time. I think so often, you get too far ahead of yourselves, and sometimes you get too high, and a lot of times, sometimes you get too low. So just staying as calm and as level as you possibly can, and just making sure that energy is throughout the entire group, and everybody understands what the common goal is. And obviously our common goal is to lift the trophy. But there's a process to that, there's steps to that. And I think once we start well, I think we've got a tough schedule here in the first leg at home, 5 games in probably 6-7 days. And then the game in Antigua on the 24th, if I'm not mistaken. But I think if we can go through this first phase, not too much damage, winning a few games, it obviously puts us in really good stead going into the deeper half of the competition. Another thing you don't want to do is peak too early, and then fade. So, look, I'm very confident with the team, very happy with the team, very happy with the management staff. This is my first time, as I said before, and then, look, everybody's made me feel really welcome. I haven't had any hiccups, so I'm looking forward to a really good tournament.
And with that, we've come to the end of today's newscast. You can find the latest news and sport at our website, newsroom.gy, or on our social media pages, Newsroom Guyana. On behalf of the news and technical teams, I am Lizzie Yearwood. Take care.